All right. So, for the second one, the first question says, write a program that asks the user to enter a string. The program should then print the following: the total number of characters in the string. So, first of all, it says write a program. We are going to ask the user. So the problem is that we need to ask the user to enter something. We need to take something from the user, like an input from the user.
Yeah.
And whatever the user enters, we're going to be doing some manipulations to it, or we're doing some things, some activities on it. So, well, to go by that first, how do you take user input from the user?
How do we take the input?
Yeah, what do you use to take input from the user?
The input function.
Input function. Do I just want to, I mean, would I just call input like this and say
Uh,
uh, enter a string? Is this
mm,
correct?
enter a string. Yeah, this seems correct to me. Let me
Okay.
see.
So I now, for the first question says, return the total number of characters in the string. So how do I get that?
In the string. So probably we should specify it input. Let me see. How about putting as a float? Like we should specify the a string. Can it be a float or no? Float is number. Enter a string. Can we specify the string, the type of string or no?
So the question just says, ask the user to enter any string, basically
Any
like
string.
any text. Or let me not use the programming term string. Let me say text. So enter a text.
And there's no specification, right? Okay.
There's no
So I
such,
think this will do it then. This will do it.
yeah. But for me to be able to reuse it, how will I do? Now
Mhm.
I need to find the characters in that string, the number of characters. What function? I mean, yeah, I already said it. So what function do you use to get the length of a character?
The
We've got
length
the
is
length of
the
a
is it
Kabwe.
the length? Is the length function?
Yeah, there's a length function. So
Yeah.
we have a length function that returns the length of characters,
Mm-hmm.
count of characters in a string.
Yeah, it's the length function. Yeah.
So what am I going to pass as input? I mean, as parameter or argument to the length function.
Probably count the number of string.
What is holding the string? Okay, so what I actually want, what I thought you were going to point out is that we need to store whatever the user enters, we need to store it in a variable.
Yes, that's true.
So I'm calling this user input. And
Okay.
by default, whatever the user enters, by default, input returns a string data type value. So there's no need to do any conversion or any typecasting again. It's
Mm-hmm.
already in format. So that means we are good to go. Now,
Mm-hmm.
the first listing just says total number of characters in the string. So we can also assign that to, we can say n char, that is number of characters is going to be len, then user input
Underscore input.
underscore input. Then we can
Mm-hmm.
print that. You can say there are dash characters and what the user enters. So that's going to be dot format. Let me not even use format. We are more than that now. Let's use the F format approach. So we do this. You still remember this trick, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you have there are n chars. Let's run this and see. Yes, it says enter a test. So let me just put marshmallows. Or is it marshmallow or something? I'm not really sure of the spelling, but yeah, you see, it says there are 12 characters in marshmallows. So that is what that one here is asking us to do. Then it says the string repeated 10 times. The string repeated 10 times. So that's basically just this one. You don't need a for loop. It's just like repetition. It's asking you to do repetition. And what do you use to do repetition in Python? I mean, a string repetition. What do you use? I think we categorically, uh, put the rows that's how. Okay, I think that's from the first slide. So basically, it's just asking us to, whatever the user enters, just asking us to do the repetition operation on it. And it says 10 times, right? That means we are multiplying it by 10. So repeated 10 times. In this case, mind you, it is not saying each repetition should be on a new line. If the question says each repetition should be on a new line, that may be, I mean, that would be like the requirement is different from this. At that point, you may want to use a for loop, or you want to do some manipulation that involves using your separator, where you specify your separator as a new line. What I'm saying is, if the question says repeat whatever the user enters 10 times, with each time being in a separate line. So I said at that point, then you are expected to use a for loop. You can say for I in range of how many times do you want to repeat it? 10 times. I can say print user input. Let me comment all this so that you see what I'm saying. So if we have this now, this is not what the question asks us to do. I'm just trying to demonstrate if the question had said each repetition should be in a new line, then you know this is what you're supposed to do. So let me put Gideon again. Let me put Gideon as an input. And you see, Gideon is printed. If you count it, it's going to be 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, but the question is not asking us to do that. So it's just asking us for repetition. And with repetition, it means string repetition. Basically, what we are trying to test here is string repetition, which is having to multiply it by a number, having to multiply your string by a number. So let's write all the code once and for all and run it. Then C says the first character of the string. Okay, that means this is, so what is it? What is this question trying to ask us to do now? How many people are on the call? Okay. I think we are okay. I believe DT already know most of this. So, Mr. Fabrice, how do we do that? We want to return the first character of the string.
Okay, let me see the first. No. The first character of the string. Remember, the string includes. This is like slicing.
Exactly, slicing or indexing.
Yeah, slicing
Slicing
or
is when you are taking more than one character or more than one element.
mm-hmm.
Indexing is picking a particular element, a particular index. So this one is actually asking us to do indexing.
Indexing, okay, instead of
Yeah.
slicing, okay.
And that's basically going
Okay.
to be user inputs. Can you
Mm-hmm.
dictate the syntax for me?
Prof, I'm not gonna lie to you. I haven't been revising on the indexing stuff.
Okay, you,
But
you use square bracket for indexing anywhere.
okay,
Use square
anyway.
bracket for indexing. So it is inside your square bracket that after you specify your string name,
Mm-hmm.
then you put square bracket in the front, open and close square
Mm-hmm.
bracket, and inside that square bracket, you specify the index. So in this case, we are to return the first character. What's going to be the index?
The index will be so just return the first character.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one. No, 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 no.
Python starts indexing at 0.
Mm-hmm. So
That means the first character is going
will
to be
be
that
zero.
kind of 0. Yes.
So enter zero. That's it.
Then for this, it says the first three characters of the string. First three. So this one is
So it will
asking
be
us to
two.
do slicing.
Yeah. First three. So everything from there will be slicing.
I'm coming. So I just want to
User input.
do,
Mm.
okay, yeah, so it just says the first three characters. That means we are picking user inputs, we call user inputs, then we specify the start and the stop. Since it
Mm-hmm.
says the first three, that means we are starting
Okay, so
from
it'll be zero,
0,
semicolon. I mean
colon,
double, yeah. And then uh 4. It will be no. Is it
the first three,
converted the first three, so 3, so plus 1, so it's gonna be 4 or no?
calm down and do it well. Just the way you go about it is you can give yourself an example. Say, okay, if the user enters string,
Mm-hmm.
I want to return the first three. What's going to be the position of that
So
three?
2. So that 3 will be 0, 1, 2. So
Yeah,
then we do plus
two.
1 or no?
But because I mean the rule says we should always add one to it, so that means we are
Yeah,
stopping at
3.
3.
Okay. 0, 1, 2, then 3 plus 1, yes.
Yeah, 0, 1, 2. So that is
Mhm.
that. Then for this, the last three characters of the string also.
The last 3,
The last three characters.
okay.
So this one now, you don't know
The
what the
string
user
is,
input is going to, what the string is
yeah.
going to.
So may as well start do like a reverse.
Exactly. So this is where negative
You do the
indexing,
minus, yeah.
yeah, works at best. So you always
Mm-hmm.
know the last character is always -1, right?
Uh-huh.
The second to the last character will always be -2.
Yeah.
The third to the last character will always start from -3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we can specify that, okay, from -3, we can make a starting point to be -3,
Mm-hmm.
then till the end. So we don't really care what the stopping this thing is now.
Mm. So you just minus 3 and then over there you don't put anything.
Yeah, remember what I said? I said if you are even at this point, because we are starting from the beginning, it is as good as not specifying anything at all.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
Mm-hmm.
similar thing here.
Okay.
So since we know that we are taking from the first three, I mean from the third to the we want to pick from the third to the last till the end of the
Mm-hmm.
string. So we might as
Yeah.
well just specify our starting point, which is going to be -3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so let's run this. Let me close the floating meeting control. Okay. So let me enter Gideon. Yeah, so we can see the first character. Yeah, okay. Repeated 10 times. Then the first character, the first three character, the last three character, which was pretty fine. So you know when to use negative indexing and positive indexing now.
Mm-hmm.
When you're not so sure, most of the time you'll be using your negative indexing. When you're not sure of what the string value is. So
Yeah.
then this one says the string backwards. So this one, I mean, I'm very sure I actually we spend a lot of time, or not really a lot of time, but I made like a dedicated this thing on this one in particular. I said it's a
Doing
trick.
the password.
Yeah. What actually does the reverse is uh specifying your step as -1. There's
Mm-hmm.
no there's no distance to that. That's how you do it. So we are selecting everything. We are reversing the whole string, right? So it is as well as we basically don't need to put any start or stop.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that, right? Because at this
That's
point
right.
we don't even know the length of our character. So and
Mm-hmm.
because we are actually taking everything, whatever the length of that character is, we are taking everything. So it is as good as not specifying a stop and a end. But because we
Mm-hmm.
are reversing, we must
Put
specify
-1.
-1 as
Mm-hmm.
our step. And
Yeah.
that is going to do the reverse. So if I, let me say onion. So you see the first character, the first three character, the last three character, and we have onion in reverse. That's our noino.
Mm,
Yeah. So that is for that. Then this one says the last character of the string. You already know what that is going to be.
-1.
Exactly. -1. So print user input -1. So that's going to give us, and this one says the string with its first and last characters removed. Can you tell me how to go about this? We want the first character and the last character removed.
The first and the last removed.
Yeah, the first and the last removed.
Okay, so you're gonna be like print in
Okay.
parentheses user underscore input
Simple, yeah.
first and last removed. So first and last removed when we did this. So it's going to be first and last removed.
Yeah.
So 1 -1.
Like call it for me properly.
So you're gonna start. So we started at 1
One, okay.
colon
Colon.
and then minus, I would say -2. Stop
Uh,
at -2.
why is it -2?
I'm thinking, is it -1? No, no,
I don't
-1
know.
then.
Calm down and think of it internally. I
Okay,
mean,
so one,
you
it
are
starts,
absolutely you are on the right track. You are on the
yes,
very right track.
yeah, but the one -1 will be included. So I would say,
-1 will not be included.
yes, -1 is not included. So we
All,
started at -2.
no, no, no. Always know that whatever number you specify as your stop will not be
Is,
included.
is it
Now,
included or not?
it's not going to be included.
So, okay, then it's going to be -1 then.
Yes, it's going to
Minus
be
one is not, it's going
it's
to be
not good.
one minus
It's
one.
going to be -1. Yeah, exactly. So
Okay,
if you put -2, that means
yeah.
it won't the last two elements will not be included.
Yes, 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 yes. That's right. So it's going to be
Yeah. So
-1.
it's going to be
Yeah.
-1. Let's run it and try out. Let's say let's use Gideon again. So you see, idiom. So G was removed and N.
Uh-huh. Oh, was, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
So one.
I'm glad you got this.
Yeah, I mean, this thing, to be honest with you, lately, I'm not giving any excuses, but I did paint the
So
room
the
key
strings
last
in all
weekend and stuff
caps.
like that. But okay, so this one in all caps. So it's going to be, to do all caps, we have this function.
Is it a function?
No, no, it's not a function.
It's a method.
It's it's a method, yes. So the method will be cap capitalized, yeah. So then that's capitalized.
Is it capitalized?
Huh?
Is it capitalized or upper?
Oh, upper, yeah, 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 you're right.
No.
Both of
I mean,
them.
if you forgot most of it,
Capitalize would just capitalize just the first one, right?
the first character there. Yeah,
The first
exactly.
character, but upper would put everything, yes, that's right.
Upper is going to capitalize everything. Yeah.
Everything, yeah.
So, and if
Oh my
anybody
God.
has, I mean, if you've forgotten, you can just
Yeah.
try to, once you press your dots, all the
Mm-hmm.
possible methods will pop up. Then you can use those to refresh your memory.
User
Yeah. So the last
input,
ones, I mean, this one says the string with
upper.
every A replaced with an E. So what are we going to be using for that also?
When you do that, you have to do this one. Okay. So say that again. The string every replaced by a space. The string with every letter replaced by a space.
No, no, no.
Sorry,
This one.
sorry, Professor, I'm driving, but I'm just listening. Is that okay if I jump in as well?
I
Yeah.
mean, of course, you can drop in. The reason why I didn't call you was because you said you were on
Yeah,
your.
I'm driving. I'm listening, but it's getting interesting because I'm just enjoying it. So on that one, do we use the replace?
Yeah, exactly. Please, I mean, I will appreciate if you can contribute. And
Oh, sorry.
DT, no, I said I will appreciate if you contribute like
Oh,
this.
okay.
So I
Oh,
didn't call you because
I was listening to the one you talk about replace A with the E. Do we use the replace method on that one?
yes, exactly. We use the replace
Okay.
method.
All right.
We use the replace method for this. And inside it, we're going to say replace. It said we should replace A with E, right? So you specify first what you are replacing, and we specify second what you want to replace it with. So basically, this is the command. Let me show this proper. This is the actual work. I mean, this is the actual command that does the replacement. The variable holding our test dot replace, and because for every method, the way you know them is there's always a open and close parenthesis after the name of that method. So which is why, and it is inside that parenthesis that you put the argument that the method takes. So in this one, the way replace has been built is to take as first argument is what you want to replace. Then the second argument is what you want to replace it with. So now this is actually what does the replacement, but we need to print it out, right? So that is why we also need to now encapsulate everything inside the print function. And voila, I think let me run this so that we can confirm that everything we've been doing is right. So I will make sure to, okay, latitude. Let me use latitude. Is the spelling correct? Okay. The first character, repeated 10 times, then the first character, the first three, this one, UDE, what is that? Okay, the last three character, UDE, and this one, everything reversed. The last character, this one, the first character and the last character removed, and this one for the uppercase, and this one for, okay, latitude, replacing A with E. So you see everything works fine. Latitude. Then for the last one, okay, I mean, it's similar. So, Mr. Fabrice, you can also, I mean, I would like if the three of us, I think Mr. DT, if you also want to like contribute. So I will appreciate if everybody can, let's make this very interesting.
Yeah, seriously, uh, uh, it was my fault. I'm not trying to give any excuses, but the last thing, but with this one thing that we're doing, everything is coming back. But I haven't been practicing, so I'm gonna remediate to that by next class. Okay,
Okay, all right.
I'll remediate to that and then be more,
I
more,
mean,
more,
you
more thing.
still,
I mean,
I mean, I like the way we're doing this. So
Yeah,
let
for,
everybody share your ideas. That's how you learn. Trust me.
that's right. Yeah, yeah,
that's right.
yeah. So where are we now? Every letter by a
Yeah,
space.
every letter replaced by a space. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
using
Every letter with a space. So then it's going to be the same thing. And then every letter with a space. Hmm. This one, how we going to do that? Every letter with a space.
oh,
Input replace. So this one we can say, okay, up here, user input, enter a text. So replaced user underscore input.
replace
Hello?
underscore.
Yeah, because here we're saying we're asking the first thing, line number one, user underscore input equal input, enter a text. But the thing is, we don't know which text we're gonna enter. Is that any text, right? So I'm thinking here when we're gonna do after the replace, we can probably specify that it's going to be user underscore input and then replace that in the parentheses. I mean, in the apostrophe, the quote, we can put like nothing there.
Can you
We can put empty.
Get you?
So, hello, your volume is coming up low.
Oh, really? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I feel,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
better
we
now.
can hear you.
Okay.
I feel like, I don't know, I can be wrong as well, but I feel like where there is E, we can just remove E because we want to replace A by a space. So if you remove E, it's just going to be blank. That means
Yeah, the
A
E
becomes
will be
space.
blank, and then the A, I would say the A we can put in the place of A, we
Uh-huh.
can put like input. I mean, we can put like user under input
Okay.
underscore input.
I'm still not getting. Okay, you know what?
Okay, me?
Let me clear what the question is saying. The question is saying if you have Gideon,
Yes.
replace every
Replace.
letter there with a space.
Yes.
So that
Uh-huh.
means
Oh,
if this is our string
every
value now,
letter.
every
Yeah.
letter, that means G is replaced with a space, I replaced with a space, D replaced with a space, E with a
Mm-hmm.
space, O with a space, and N with a space. That means you are having a string value of the same length as the original user input, but with every
Mm-hmm.
character now being a space.
Yeah. So that's why I said, like, you see, because
Don't limit your thinking, please.
okay,
Don't limit
because you
like you
see,
can.
wherever there is the A, let's say A will be the user input, I'm thinking. And then that user input, because it might enter like a 3, 4, 5 character string. Since we don't know that, so that's why probably we're gonna put the input, whatever is gonna input there, so replace that with space, 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 space. So at the place of A, we just put probably user underscore input, and then at the place of E, we just put like empty and put like space there. Will that, you know
Do
what?
you
Let me
want
try.
do you want to write the code do you want to write the code and paste it in the chat?
You know what? Let me try it first. Let me try it first. I'm going to try what I'm saying. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, on my machine. So user,
And
user
DT, do you want to help us?
underscore input. Maybe he's not online, or I know he's muted, but maybe he's not online. I know I did that over the weekend. I just connected and then I was okay. So and space. So let me see if he's going to do it. No, this one user input. Okay, so far there's no error. So let me see. Okay, so now nope, it doesn't. No, 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 it isn't. Okay, let me see something. Ah, Python. Hmm. Okay, I'm gonna put yo. Okay, enter. Nope, it doesn't. It does not give me what I needed. So, all right. So then replace. Okay, but the thing is, we don't know the number of the string. Ah,
Are you still trying to use the replace method?
yeah.
So that was why to save our time. So that was why I said you should think outside the box. At
Okay,
this
let me
point,
see. Yeah,
at
yeah.
this point, replace can work, but if you're going to be using replace, then you have to use a for loop. But there's a trick to if you don't want to use if
Replace.
ideally the first, like the very crude approach would not even involve you using replace.
Okay.
So remember I said something like most of the time, whenever you're asked to do something, sometimes it's good to just look for a pattern and try to reproduce that pattern. So replacing every character of a user input of a string with space is same as repeating space by the number of characters you have in that string.
Yeah.
Say I enter cat now. Cat is 3-letter words. Replace cat with space, like the letters of cat with space. That means you'll be having 3 spaces. Which is, and the pattern is space multiplied by the number of or the length of the string value. So you can just say user input underscore replaced equals to space, then multiplied by the length of user character. Remember, the length of user character is going to return what? A number, right? And you can multiply that number with space, with an empty space. And which basically do exactly what we want.
Damn. So, wow.
So that's why I said, like, you should don't limit yourself to thinking you have to use the replace method. Everything I did there, you've been taught. Everything you've been taught. So you were just required to like put 2 or more things together. The knowledge of repetition into use, and the knowledge of knowing what knowing what the value of len is, or what len gives you. Len gives you a number, and of course, when it gives you a number, it's of the numeric data type. Like it's going to be an integer. So it's you find trying to replace every character by space is also, it's same as multiplying, and you can even, since we asked to replace every character by a space, we can still use the same variable. You can
So
now call
after the replace, is it equal that you put there, or is it dash?
equal. I said user underscore input underscore replaced this is a variable name,
Yeah,
and I'm
and then
just
that is
assigning
equal.
the new manipulation. That manipulation, I'm assigning it to a new variable.
So we
So
empty
this is still going to
times len. Shit.
This is not empty. It contains a space. This is different. No, this is an empty string. No space, nothing in between. But
Yeah.
this is not an empty string because it contains a space.
Okay.
Yeah. When you have a space, remember I said space is also a character.
True.
Yeah, space is also a character. If you are counting the length of a string value, it will also count what's it called? It will also count a space as a character.
That's true.
Yeah.
So let's see this one. Let's run it.
So
Yep.
let me also do something so that we can be sure. Let me
So
also print the
yeah,
length of
everything is
our
empty.
Yeah, let me also print the length of our empty spaces and also print the length of user inputs. Let me do this. Length of user inputs. And let me call this length of replaced user inputs, which is of course going to be a space. And of course we are already printing it here. So if I run this, I say I don't know if it's correct, but I'll just write it like this: mattress. Yeah, you see every other thing work fine. So this is for that empty space. Empty space. And we can say that the length of the user input is 8, and the length of the empty space is also 8. So which actually does exactly what we want, replacing each letter of the character So when you can just see it like this, when you were, let's say you need to do what am I saying? If you were asked to empty, let's say you were given a basket and you were asked to empty it, you asked to empty a basket because they want to use an empty basket. It is also as good as you just getting a new basket. If you have a new basket, or it's just something as if you don't want to probably alter that particular one, you don't want to alter it, you can just give them a new basket with the same specification as the basket you were asked to what's it called, to empty. So that's just like the trick we use there. Or if you want to now, you want to use if you want to use the replace, I said the replace method also works. But if you want to be able to do that, then you have to use your for loop. And in that case, you say for I'm calling, there's a reason I'm calling this char, for char in user inputs. Before now, the syntax of the for loop I gave to you, who's that? Okay, you're joining with another system. So before now, the syntax of the for loop that I gave to you was that at this point, instead of this user input, you used to have range. And it is inside that range that you specify the number of times you want your loop to run for. In this case, I specify 8. So that means it's going to run 8 times. But the definition of for loop that I gave to you, Mr. Fabrice, are you following? Because you said you missed the loop class.
Right.
Okay. So the definition of the for loop, I said it allows you to repeat a block of code multiple times, and a for loop is used to iterate over sequences. Or sequence is the same thing as a collection of items. Anything that is let me example of sequence in Python is we have a data type called list, tuple, but the primitive sequence types in Python is a string is a sequence. Remember when we define string, we said it is a sequence of characters. So a string is a sequence. That means for loop can work with it. And how does for loop work with it? It loops, it iterates over the sequence. Iterates over in the sense that it traverses the element of the sequence. Maybe I'm speaking too much of English, but that part is actually that definition is actually very, very key in the sense that now that I'm writing this, when I said for char in range is also a sequence. Yeah, it's an iterable, it's a sequence. That's why you can specify it. What we are saying is range, not from the mathematical meaning. When you say a range of something, that means you are going from one, when you say when you're saying range, you are given a starting point and an end point. When you say range of 2 to 4, that means 2 is included, 3 is included, and I think according to math, I think 4 is also included according to math. Or when you say it ranges from 1 to 100, that means 1 is included, 2, or you are so sure that 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 till 99 is included. So those are like sequence of numbers. And that is why range could work in this case. Anything that is classified as a sequence in Python is what you put here. It is not necessarily just range alone. And because I said string is a sequence, we can as well use user input in this case. And let me now do something. Let me say print char. Or to save time so that I won't have to, let me say user manual input. So this one, I'm just putting let me say Gideon now. I don't want to I want to comment all this so that I won't have to enter anything in the terminal. Oh, sorry. So I won't be using user input again now because I don't want to take input from the user just to save time. So I'll be using this string that I've defined already. I'll be iterating over it. So I'm saying for char in user manual inputs. So let me ask Mr. Joseph, if I put range here, and I specify 8, or let me say I specify 6, each time and I'm trying to print char. So what's going to be the value of char? Hello, are you there?
Six.
Is it
That's
gonna be
good.
5?
Okay, I'm coming. Mr. Joseph, what do you say? What each time the for loop runs, what's going to be the value of char?
1, 2, 3, 4. Print char for char in range 6. Use a print manual, print Gideon.
Do you want to help Mr. Fabrice?
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I remember you just said that the range,
We did this before.
so the 6, so this one is gonna be GI, is gonna return GI,
No, I've
GP.
changed it to range of 6 now. So let me quickly
Okay,
just
instead of, okay, yeah.
let me run
Okay,
this. So you see, this is what
yeah, it's gonna be
for
5.
loop runs the number of times it's
Oh,
supposed to run.
okay. Count 0. Okay, it will be 5. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, because
So
I
it's
said I
gonna
wanted
stop
it to
at
run
5.
6 times. That means
6
I wanted
minus 1.
it's going to start from 0 till
Mm-hmm.
5 till
That's
5.
right.
And if you count
6
it, it
minus
all
1.
makes, yeah, it's going to everything makes 6
Mm-hmm.
because it started from 0. So char, what is happening here is char is assuming each value from the range that we specify. And range in Python, once you specify a start, 6 is, when we specify 6 like this, I'm only specifying a stopping point. So I'm assuming start from the beginning, from 0.
From 0.
Start from 0 and stop at 6.
Okay, and then the
Of
6
course,
will
again,
actually
when you
be
specify a stop, it's not when you have a value at occupying the stop position in Python, it is always -1. It's actually going to end at -1 of it.
yeah.
So now that is why you see that it stop at 5. So when I specify 6, I know that it is going to stop at 5. So
Okay.
0, 6 is same thing as just specifying 6.
6. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
And what happened is range in Python is saying range like this. When you specify range in Python, you're just saying 0 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
That is, the sequence is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I say 2, 6, I'm just saying the range is the numbers included in that range is 2, 3, 4, 5. Are you getting it? 2, 6 is 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 5.
So
So
0 always count, but you 0 count is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When you get to 5, that's six the numbers there.
6
But
numbers there.
okay.
But now I'm saying 2 to 6. So how many numbers? How many times do you think this loop will run for?
It will run up to 5.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Because you said like you always count from 0, right? If it's 2 to 6, I'm counting 0 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When I get to 5, I have 6 there, right? That's how
No,
I'm
I mean, oh no. Don't see it like that then. Don't see it like that. So
okay.
now I'm saying 2, 6. But
Uh-huh.
because I know that my stop,
Yeah.
the stop is already +1. So that means the
Okay.
actual stop is at 5.
Okay.
So now, and I say start from 2. 2 is always included. I mean, the
Oh,
starting.
2 to 5. Okay.
So
2,
2
3.
to 6
Okay.
means 2, 3, 4,
3,
and
4,
5,
5, 6.
which
Uh-huh.
in total is 4. Do you
Yeah,
get
that's
that?
right. That's right.
2
Yeah, I
total
get
in
it. I
4.
get it. You
That
start
means
from 2 to 4. Okay.
that means the for loop will run 4 times. And if
Okay.
I
Yeah.
print this now, so
Uh-huh.
char, which is called an iterating variable, this could be anything. It could as well be high. It could be high. It could be anything. You can use any variable for it. It's a variable. It's an iterating variable. So this iterating variable, when your for loop is running, this iterating variable assumes each element of your sequence. In this case, I said range is a sequence, and in this sequence, range is going to have 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, 2,
Okay.
3, 4, 5. So these are like the sequence. And I said this char or this I, the variable, iterating variable, assumes the element in the sequence. So the first time the for loop runs, I is going to assume 2. Second time, I is going to assume 3. Third time, I is going to assume 4. And the fourth time, I is going to assume 5. And after it has assumed the last element in the sequence, the for loop will stop. Did you get that?
That's right.
So if I run this now, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see, I is 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right, let's do another one with a different number.
Yeah,
And
let's
see.
say 1, 60. How many times will this run for?
That's gonna be 1 to 59.
1 to 50. That's this 1 to 59, right? So how many
Yeah.
times? How many times means I'm asking for just a number. It's going to run for 59 times.
Yeah, 59 times. Yeah. So
Yeah,
you write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only get to 59, then you stop.
then we stop. So if I should be printing high now, I is going. I will see a count of 1 to 59. Yeah. So, but let me do this. So that's if I'm interested in actually if I'm interested in using the what's it called, the digits from coming from the range. But if I'm not interested in dealing with the digits from the range, let's just say I want to print Gideon 69 times. I'll just have to do Gideon. I may not even need to print I at this point because I'm not dealing with, I just want Gideon to be printed the number of times this for loop is going to run. And if I do this, Gideon is good. You see, we have Gideon. If you count it, it's going to be 69 times. Are you getting the pattern? Are you getting the idea? Any confusion from here?
No, it makes sense.
Okay, all right. So now back to our question that, okay, yeah. So remember I said the iterating variable, in this case, which I label high, but let me label it for char. Let me call it char so that because it's a character. I want it to, I want it to be a character. And at this point, I want my iterating or my sequence to be a string now, which I've called user manual inputs. And the value is Gideon. So same thing happens here. Same thing, the same logic that we use for our range also happens here. Now I'm not using range again, I'm using a string value here. And because I said a string value is a sequence of characters. So this char, or let me also make it I can make it I again. This I is now assuming each character of the string value. So if I say print I now, you see now, it is taking each character from the string value. And because I'm printing high, right? So it is taking, actually, each time the for loop runs, I is assuming each character from the string value. So that you see like Gideon, because the first time I is going to be G, then we printed G. Second time I is going to be pointing to high. So it's printed high. Third time I is going to be D. D got printed. Fourth time E. Fifth time O. Then the sixth time N. Do you get this now? Now,
It's very technical though.
Yeah, this one is very
It's very technical.
because this one is different from range.
Exactly. So I said range
Got you.
range is a sequence.
Yeah.
A string is also a sequence in Python. I think that's just all you want to understand. A string is a sequence.
Range, okay.
Range is also a sequence. When we say range of a number, we are saying we are given like a range. It involves when you say range 1 to 100, for instance, according to Python now, that means you have 1 to 59. 1 to 99, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So now, same thing that's for range. That's for range. That's the sequence. The sequence in that range is 1 to 99. When I give you a string also, a string value, like a Gideon now, the sequence in that one is no longer a range. We have a sequence of character. We have Yeah, we have letters, sequence of letters.
Yeah, G-I-D-O, okay.
Gideon, exactly. And the rule is that it's very constant. When you have this is how you write your for loop. You say for, followed by a space, then the iterating variable. It's always followed by the iterating variable. That is the variable that is going to assume value. Followed by the in keyword, and then your sequence. This is how you write it. Now you know two sequences now. You know range, and you now know that a string value, any string value can also be a sequence. So when you now have string as your sequence, and you know I said the universal rule is that I will always assume the element of your sequence one by one. The reason why you see I assuming numbers when we use ranges, because I said when you say range of 1,5, the sequence, ideally, the sequence is, you can see the sequence like this. The sequence is 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. When you have it as Gideon, when you have it as Gideon as a string,
that's right.
When you have it Gideon as a string, the sequence now is G,
Oh, change to letters.
I,
D, okay.
D, E, E, O, and N.
Okay.
And this what your iterative variable, we always assume each character or each element of your sequence. In the case of range, I is going to run the number of times of the elements you have here. And this is
That's
1,
right.
2, 3, 4, 4. So the for loop is going to run 4 times. And each time, I is going to be assuming each value of this collection. That is the first time I is going to be picking, I is going to be 1. Second time, I is going to be 2. Third time, I is going to be 3. Fourth time, I is going to be 4. And if you have it as Gideon, if you have your sequence here as Gideon, as a string, and if this the characters that made up that string, then this for loop is going to be running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 times. That is the length of the string value. And each time, I will be assuming the character of your string value. So the first time, I will be assuming G. Second time, I will be assuming this I. Third time, it will be D. Fourth time, it will be E. Fifth time, it will be O. And the sixth time, which is the last time, is going to be N. And the for loop is going to stop. Do you see that now? Has it been made simpler now?
Yeah, it's getting it takes time, but it's getting in. It's getting in.
So the thing is, don't let this thing die. Don't let this don't wait till maybe after 2 weeks or till Thursday before you practice now.
That's the thing, yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta get on it while it's still
Yeah.
fresh. Watch the video and then just get on it.
Yeah, exactly. So you see now, so what I now want to do is, remember I said at this point now, you know what I is going to be assuming. You know I is going to be assuming each character of our value, right?
Yeah.
That's right. Gideon.
Gideon. So now we can now say user manual input. This is actually going to be tricky. So let me do something. So the thing is, if I should do this, we can now call replace.
Okay.
And we can say, and when you're calling replace, what's going to be the first argument that you pass?
User.
When you want to replace a character
I.
in string, it's going to be what you want to replace.
Yeah. So
right? And what we want to replace is already been stored in I, right?
In I. Yeah.
So we put I. And what do we want to replace it with?
What do you want to replace it with? What did you say?
Yeah, I asked what we wanted to replace it with, which is going to be a space, according to the
space.
So bracket, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That thing, and then yes, empty space. Okay.
Yeah, space. So this is going to do the replace.
Okay. Okay.
The
That's
first
right.
time, the first time I is going to be G, then it will replace G with space. So
Mm-hmm.
if we print, let's after each replacement, let's print so that we see what is going on.
Print I. Oh,
No, not even high. Print
okay.
user manual
Print
input,
manual. Okay.
like the
Mhm.
test. So, but one thing is going to happen here.
Mm.
One thing is going to happen, and it's actually it's not going to work as expected, but let's see. Okay, you see,
Gideon,
each time
Gideon.
it is Gideon.
Uh,
And the reason for that is
uh-huh.
the changes you made here. This
Uh-huh.
change, whatever change you make here,
Uh-huh.
is still going to affect. So what happens is when the for loop is running,
Uh-huh.
it is using user manual input.
Mm-hmm.
So after it goes inside user manual input, and we've come here, we change this. We change G to high. I mean, remember the first time we are going to change G to space. When
Mhm.
it comes back to, so this is how it's done. After the for loop, the Python comes to the block of code that you want to repeat. It executes them, then go back to the for loop again. Now I will now go over user manual input again, but user manual input will have been altered.
Mm.
Oh, God.
So I mean, that's why I said like, it's very tricky. So at this point, if people want to do this,
Yeah.
they just do slicing. When you are slicing, you are not using the actual elements. You are making a subset.
Hmm. This is not funny, man. This is like, damn.
I'm telling you, I mean, it's
See,
very,
it's fun
it's
and
amazing.
tricky. That's why,
Yeah,
like,
it's very, yeah.
it's fun and tricky. So you remember, when you do this now, you are not actually dealing with the actual content of user manual input as a whole. You're just getting a subset of it.
Hmm.
Okay, the subset, which is,
The subset, and in this case, that subset involves all the characters.
okay, okay,
Yeah. So this is going to resolve to Gideon. At the end of it, this is going to resolve to Gideon.
okay.
Even
Slicing and
after
okay,
we make changes to user manual input, because this has been resolved once, so it is still going to remain Gideon. Let
okay,
me use I expected that, of course. Replace G, I'm coming. User manual. For I in user manual. I'm coming. Let me quickly do something.
okay.
Uh, yeah. Sorry. So the mistake I made was I've forgotten. Uh, String is immutable in the sense that you cannot change the value of. I think that's what I missed. So sorry about the this thing that I said.
Okay.
When we do this, the change is not permanent. This replace
Okay.
is not permanent. Sorry about that. That means this will still work. But this is I'm mixing it up with list.
Okay.
So there's another sequence called list. So that was the where the mix-up is coming from. So the change is
Okay.
not going to be permanent. Replace does not change the what was the card I put now? If I have I declared it, look at what the example I gave you now. I said
Mm-hmm.
OMO equals to Gideon. Then I
That's
did
right.
OMO dot replace G with a space. If I
That's
still
right.
type OMO, OMO still remains my Gideon.
Ah,
Yeah, OMO still remain Gideon. So I think the ideal thing I've forgotten. So if you read some textbook, they will tell you string is immutable. That is, you cannot change the content of a string.
oh, really?
Yeah, you cannot change the content of a string.
Hmm. Okay.
You cannot change the content. There are some immutable. There's another data type called or another collection of sequence in Python called tuple.
Okay.
So I think we'll be talking about that in the next, is in our next slide. So that's if you want to create collection of items. So that's what we'll be talking about that. So there's another one like alongside tuple, it is immutable. You cannot change their content.
Hmm.
You cannot change their content. Like in this case now, I cannot permanently replace E with A. It's not going to work. The only way I can do that is to now is to make it a new we have to assign it to a new variable.
Okay.
So we have to assign it to a new variable. So I think what we need to do at first, this is I don't think, I mean, you may not, let's call it let's create a new variable called replaced value, and let's make it an empty string. Now I'll come here. We are going over, I mean, this still works. The rule still applies here that I will be assuming each element of user manual inputs, which is going to be Gideon. And now at this point, I can say replace value, which is an empty string. That is a string that has nothing. It has no space. It has nothing by default. So I can say replace value equals to replace value equals to replace value plus user manual input dot replace, like whatever the replace result is, add it to replace value. And you'll find this very tricky. Well, let's go. I hope I'm able to explain it better to you. So then we are printing our replace value. Let's see the result before I explain. Okay, I didn't exit my shell. No. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Sorry. Replace I with space each time, and oh, of course, of course. What was I expecting? What was I expecting? I'm coming. Let me quickly think this through. Replace. What I want is relationship limited to space and uh okay. The solution is going to go beyond the scope of what we've done.
Okay.
So I wouldn't want. I mean, I can write the code now, but it's going to go beyond the scope of what we've covered so far.
Okay. I mean, for the sake of just learning and seeing, that would be nice. But I was
Okay.
lost already. Yeah.
So what we can do is let's create a duplicate of this. Create a duplicate of the actual what the user input. So replace value is also storing Gideon. Replace value is also storing Gideon. We can say replace value equals to replace value dot replace. So in this case, we'll be doing the replace on it. It's saying replace value dot replace I, and yeah, I think that's it. So I'm printing the value of replace value each time. What's going on? What's going on? I'm coming. I'm missing something. Okay, so when is this G? So replace G with this, then store the value here. Oh, this is the mistake I made. It should be replace equals to. Yeah,
Nice.
replace. Yeah, so this is it. The first time the for loop runs, G is replaced with a space. Then the second time, G high has been replaced with spaces. Third time, fourth time, third time, then to the last one, everything replaced with a space. So this is the logic. Let me see if I can explain it in a very simple, the simplest way. So we have let's call this our user inputs. Then we're saying, so the reason why we have to store it in a new variable is, again, I think what I explained the other time still holds, in the sense that if we, okay. Let me try and explain it first. So we stored user manual input, we store it in another variable called replaced value. Mind you, replaced value is holding Gideon now. It's also holding Gideon just like user manual input. And we are iterating over the user input itself, which is I is going to be assuming each letter of Gideon, which is same thing as the letters in replaced value. But where we are doing the manipulation is we are doing the replacement inside replaced value. That is the duplicate of user manual input that we've created. That is where we are. So the first time, G will be replaced with a space. At that point, we have space IDEON the first time. And that space IDEON has now replaced what replace value used to hold. Remember, before the for loop, replace value was holding Gideon. So, but once the for loop runs the first time, the value of replace value will now be space IDEON. Do you get that? And when we print it, that's why you see space IDEON getting printed. Then for the second one, I will still go over user manual input. At this point, this is the second time. So I will be high. I will be pointing to high. Then come back to this line of code that is being repeated. At that point, we're saying replace value dot replace I with space. At this point now, second time, what's going to be the value of replace value? Hello?
Yeah, say that again.
I said the
The
second
time?
Yeah, the second time, what's going to be the value of replaced value?
EON.
No. Please
The
try
second
and
time
hold on.
is
Let me ask the question again.
Okay.
I said we are going over user manual inputs, which contains Gideon,
yeah,
like the original test input. And of course, before the for loop, replace value is also Gideon. It's also Gideon. But after
yeah.
the first time the for loop runs, the first time that
Mhm.
is when I equals to G,
Yeah. So he's gonna return IDEON. The second time he's gonna replace the I with a space. So he's
yeah.
gonna
But
return
the
DE.
question I want to ask is this. So the first time, replace value, which used to hold Gideon, the G there is now being replaced with a space. So this is what
That's
we are
right.
going
Yeah,
to have. This after the first
that's
run,
That's
yes,
this
right.
is what replace value will be pointing to.
That's
yes,
right.
Then the second time, I will be pointing to letter high.
That's right.
And now the block of code that has been repeated, we're also saying replaced value dot replace I. In this case, I is now going to be high with a
yes.
space. But what are we replacing? What is the value of this replace value that we want to replace I with space there?
The replace value.
Yeah, when we are doing it for the second, when this is running for the second time, what is now this part for the second time when for this one, I mean at this line, I assumes the letter I.
Yes.
Then
yes.
when this line is running, we are saying replace value dot replace. So what this replace value at that point, what is it holding? What is the
A
value of
space.
it?
I think he's holding a space.
Nope.
No.
Yeah.
So okay,
This value
the
equals
first time it was holding the I equal I. So this one is
I
gonna
think it's
be
replacing IDEON.
the D.
It is holding space IDEON.
Yeah.
That's right.
IDEON.
Right.
I want you to get this logic well. If you really get it, I mean, it's going to help you a
It's
lot.
gonna be easy for us.
Yeah.
So see, the logic here is the first time.
So in the beginning it was Gideon.
Yeah.
In the beginning, it was Gideon.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So
And
now
the
you
first for
remove
loop replaces this with a space.
That's
yes,
right.
G.
So after this, at this point, after this, replace value is now space IDEON.
That's right.
Yes.
The second time, I is pointing to high.
Uh-huh.
At this point, when we are saying replace value dot replace, it is no longer Gideon. What we are saying, what this replace value is pointing to was what replace value was the value of replace value after the first run, which
That's
is
right.
space IDEON.
IDEON. Okay.
So
Okay.
it is on that space IDEON that we are saying now replace the high also with a space.
That's right.
And
Okay.
after that first run, we'll have space
Space
And
D
DEON.
ON. That is the value of replace value.
And then the
Then
third
it
one will
comes
be
back
3
again.
spaces. Yeah.
Yeah, when I assumes D, we say again replace value. We are overwriting replace value. So we are saying replace value equals to replace value, that is what the value of replace value was after the second run. Whatever that value is, now replace the D part of it with a space also. Then this D is also made into a space. And that is why you have, at the end of the day, you see everything gets replaced with a space and we have our solution.
Yes.
So that is another way to use the for loop and the replace method. But you can see this is it is even more trickier than it's
Yeah, I think when you explain it, like the way you explain it, like replace the value, it'll replace G, then the replace the value, replace it is DE, it IDEON. It makes more sense now. Because when you look at it, you can kind of like understand, like, oh, that's what it represents, that's what it means. So thank
exactly.
you for the
So
clarification.
I will give you an assignment on this. Trust me. See,
All right. That's the best way to practice.
Yes.
Yeah. See, this logic is very, very important. Trust me, it's very, very important. You come across you use it a lot. Like logic like this, you write it a lot. So I will give you something that will require you to use something similar. And I hope you remember by then. Or if you're not getting it, you can fall back to the video.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can fall back to the video. So
We'll
that is
give
that
it a
about
shot.
replacing
But Professor, Python is not easy.
But once we get it, you see, the thing is, I'm even probably gonna ask for probably more or make more. Is like the structures, like
Yeah.
if you
Yeah,
yes.
continue.
No, that's what I'm saying. So if we know what each function or each method does, and
Yeah,
then the structure,
the syntax basically, once
the
you understand the
syntax,
syntax, yeah, once you
is
understand
the
the syntax,
syntax.
you're good to
know.
go. So that is why
Yeah.
I mean, if it's to be other programs, there was one program I tutor in like that. The organizers they didn't really bother about the foundations. They just gave us like 4 weeks to cover the foundations. And trust me, if it were to be other programs, they would have just been done with the foundation. But the reason why we are taking time on this foundation is once you understand it, every other thing, when we get to analysis, like it's doing analysis with Python, trust me, you will find it so easy.
Wow.
So you'll find it so easy. So this is like the hardest. This is how the hardest it can get. Once we get to data analysis with Python, those ones will be very easy. The knowledge of this foundation will help you scale a lot of was when we get there. So that's why we are taking our time at this phase. Once you understand the foundations, the fundamentals, then we just move into data analysis and you start all these things you've been doing with Excel, you start doing them with Python.
Okay, let me ask you this, Prof.
Okay.
Let's go back to your code, okay?
Okay.
User manual input equal Gideon.
Yeah.
I put something different and I got different output.
Okay.
Put like the name where it says Gideon, put Manassa. I don't know if it's my machine that it Manassas. No. One N SSAS. And
Okay.
then let's run it and see.
Okay.
I got something different on mine. So
It should be the same thing. You should have the first one, Anasas, then something like
yes.
that.
Yeah,
Yes.
let's do that and see. Okay, yes. You see?
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Don't mind me.
Yes. You see
So,
this? Why
uh,
is that?
when you get
Is
to
it?
S, when you go to S, or not even S, we have three A's.
Yeah.
If you know how replace works,
Mm.
replace is going to replace all the occurrence of that character.
Wow.
We
No,
say
say that again.
replace is going to, when you say replace
Yeah.
a value with another value, it is
Mm-hmm.
going to replace that another value, or it is going to replace that value with all the occurrences. I don't know if I'm speaking the right English, but when you say replace A with spaces, is
Mm-hmm.
the first, let's say that's what the for loop did.
Oh, so he's gonna replace all the A's.
It's going to replace all the A's with spaces
Okay, that's why
in
we're
just one
getting
run.
in one run.
In one run, that is, we have, as you have Manassas now.
Yeah.
The first time, I is going to, let's say your iterating variable is I is going to be assuming
Oh,
M, and it's going to
yeah.
replace M with a space. So that one
Yeah.
goes. Then now you
So
have
when it
the
comes
replace
to
value.
A, because you have A all over, it's gonna replace all the A with the spaces.
Exactly. So the second run,
Oh my
all the
God.
A's will be replaced.
Okay.
So that's why it is very good to actually pay attention to, like, you saw that, like, initially I also wasn't, I mean, I thought it was going to run exactly the same thing. But now when I
Mm-hmm.
saw the output, I realized, oh, this is what has happened.
Wow.
So
Okay.
that's how, I mean, that's just how
So then,
programming.
okay. Yeah. So
So you
then,
have to always pay attention to every rule. Or
Hmm.
let's say you know the rule and you don't know if it's going to be applied. Like for instance, now when you told me, I said it was going, I thought it was going to run as expected. But once I saw
mm-hmm,
that, okay, it didn't run as expected, there's a logic error, I quickly recall that, oh,
that's
my
right.
replace, when you use your replace, it actually replaced all the occurrences.
Okay.
So I was able to pinpoint that, okay, that's where the issue is. Since I know that now, I mean, since I've had to like remember that, I will need to factor it into my logic.
Mm-hmm.
And so I
So
might not
now,
even need, at this point,
yes.
I might not even need to. So what I can do now is to, there is we need to create a set of this.
Mm-hmm.
That is, we need to collect the unique value, unique
Okay.
characters rather, unique characters. To actually make this run exactly the same way, we need to collect the
Mm-hmm.
unique characters. That is
Mm-hmm.
I mean, S, yeah, MENS.
Mm-hmm.
Those are like the unique characters. So basically, we write we'll make this is what we're going to make our sequence. And there's a way we can actually get the unique characters. There's a data type called set in Python. Just like the mathematical, I mean, the set in mathematics.
Mm-hmm.
In a set, there's no in a universal set, I think there's no repetition.
Mm.
If I remember
Yeah.
correctly, there's no repetition.
Mm-hmm.
So you just need to like convert this to a set in the sense that it's going to just give you the unique values that you have there,
Mm-hmm.
unique letters that you have there. And now our for loop can now work on it. Let's do it like this.
Mm.
Let's say unique. user manual input. So I call it UMI. And I call it MANS. And now, instead of so I can say for I in unique MI now, this unique MI, which is going to be mans. Then if I do this, so it will just run 1, 2, 3, 4. It will just run 4 times efficiently. Yeah, so the first time, I is pointing to M, then it will replace M with a space. The second time, I is going to be A. It will replace A with space. All the A's with space. The third time, I will be pointing to N. Then it will replace any occurrence of N with a space.
I don't
And
see
the
the
last
bottom. We
time,
don't see the bottom of your screen.
what did you say?
We don't see the bottom of your screen. We don't see the result.
Oh, this is it, eh?
This is it right here.
Yeah, this is the result.
Oh, of the new one that you just created, even with the unique UMI.
Yeah, this is the result.
But it still looks like the first one, though. Oh no.
Yeah. So before now, when we did not have, when we had
Yes.
when you have when we didn't have this unique MI,
Mm-hmm.
there's going to be some redundant run.
Yes.
Yeah. It may not be obvious to you, but there's going to be redundant run in the sense that, say we have it as user manual input, we still have it as manasas.
Uh-huh.
The first time I is M, it will be M will be replaced with a space. The second
Yeah.
time I is A, all occurrence of A will be replaced with a space.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then when the third time I will be pointing to N, all
Yeah.
occurrence of N will be turned to a space. Now again, I will be pointing to A. And at this
Mm-hmm.
point, in manasas, there won't be any A again.
Mm-hmm.
But I is pointing to A, and we are saying replace A with a space. So this is just going to be a redundant run. Nothing is going to happen here because there's no A in
Okay.
our replace value anymore.
Wow.
So this for loop is still going to run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 times. This for loop is still going to run 8 times. But if we only have to deal with the unique values, then the for loop will only run for 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 times. So which is what I've done. But let's not really dwell on that. We'll actually be getting this. I'll give us an exercise, like a practice assignment, actually, that will portray this this logic further. And good enough, we've dealt with we've talked about for loop. So just whenever you are trying to solve them, try to recall as many rules that I've given as you can get.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we kind of like get this video uploaded so we can kind of like exercise on our own as well?
Yes, I will. The thing is, you've been given the access to a YouTube channel, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for
Okay,
that.
awesome.
Is
So the thing is,
it uploaded there automatically?
not automatically. We actually have to send it to an editor, which do
Okay.
some little adjustment to it. So it's actually from the editor that it takes time because immediately after this call, I upload to the Google Drive where the editor will pick it up.
Oh,
The
okay.
delay is always
Okay.
coming from the editor, but I will try to fast
All right.
track it.
Maybe I'm gonna. I think I subscribe to that. Not I think I know I subscribe to that YouTube
Yeah,
channel.
it's very helpful.
So yeah, I'm gonna try to go there and then yeah.
Okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we have to.
Wow.
We'll try to speed things up. So it will always be
Yeah.
uploaded latest the following day.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Uh.
that is that about this. Then another one for number 2. Oh God, our time is up. Okay. Let me not stress us. We can call it a day here, and we'll continue from here in the next on Thursday, by God's
Okay.
grace.
All right.
Thank you so much, Prof. Man, it was fun but challenging.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're welcome. I like the
I
spirit.
agree.
The spirit is good already. So just keep it up.
All right. Thank you very much.
Believe me, in a matter of time, you become a
Okay.
pro.
Oh,
right.
from your mouth to God's ears.
Yeah, trust me, by God's
One.
grace.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So have a wonderful evening.
Okay, thank you, Prof.
You too.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Yeah.
Good night to you.
Yeah. Good night.
Uh,
All right, bye.
okay.
Give you a proper review. Yeah. So
All
thank you
right.
so
Thank you very
much.
much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Appreciate it.